Hey guys, welcome back. So lately I have been buying a lot of books, taken in like 19 books or something. So I figured that even if I'm bringing in tons of books, maybe I can at least lessen the blow on my bookshelf if I get rid of a few. There's not a whole lot of books that I want to get rid of. I kind of tend to collect things that I really want to read or keep things that I really enjoyed reading, but I'm sure that there's maybe 5 or 6 titles that I could get rid of, so let's unhaul them together. So first up, I'm gonna go through my first shelf. Everything that's on the very top of the bookshelf is definitely stuff that I want to keep because either it's a library book or it's something that's like a box set that I haven't started yet, so I'm definitely going to be keeping all of that. But moving on to this shelf, I think there's probably a couple of books on here that I could get rid of. First off, I really didn't like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you haven't seen my April wrap-up video, you can go and see my thoughts on this book over there. As you can see, the edges are blue, and I actually was doing a little bit of an experiment with some acrylic paint, trying to do like a sprayed edges type thing, and it went okay. I decided ultimately I didn't want to risk any of my good books with it. So yeah, this one has just always been kind of not my interest, but the book itself is perfectly fine, so I think I'm going to unhaul it. I'll probably just donate it somewhere because it is painted on, but the actual information in it is totally fine, so definitely going to get rid of this one. There is a used bookstore here in town where I think I'm going to bring most of this stuff and see if they'll give me any store credit for it, then buy more books with some of these books kind of thing. That's what I'm going to try and do for some of the stuff. If they don't want it or if they just can't take it because they're overstocked or whatever, then I'll either just donate it to them or I'll find some other place to donate it where it can be put to good use, basically. So yeah, first book gone is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm also kind of considering On the Come Up. I did enjoy the book, but I wouldn't say that it's like one of my all-time favorites, and I think it's a very important book that a lot of people should read. So I'm kind of tempted to get rid of On the Come Up and let someone else enjoy it and learn from it. But at the same time, it's kind of like the first real contemporary that I ever read, so I kind of don't want to get rid of it. I don't know. It's important to me and I enjoyed it, but I feel like it would do a lot of good if it was passed on as well. So that's a maybe one. That's a maybe pile. I think that's it for the top shelf. Moving on to the second shelf, I think I'm going to get rid of Nerd Do Well by Simon Pegg. The reason why I'm going to do this is not because it was a bad book or I didn't like it. I think it's just a matter of somebody else could really enjoy it. It's a really good copy. It's in really good condition. So yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of Nerd Do Well by Simon Pegg. I do have a couple of books here by Mitch Albom. There was a time in my life where I was not reading, and I one day just picked up The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, and I really enjoyed it. It was a nice short read, as you can see, it's very small. And then I later found Tuesdays with Morrie, and I picked it up because I remembered that I liked Mitch Albom. But nowadays, I'm not really as intrigued as I once was by these books, and I don't think it's really gonna hold that heavy of a place in my heart anymore. These books had their time with me, and now I don't really need them, and I think I'd like to pass these on to someone who will really enjoy them. And you know what, if I ever find myself really missing it, I see these books all the time at Value Village. I'm not really too worried about it. I think I'm gonna let these two go. I think that's it for the second shelf. One book that I did just recently read that I think I'm gonna get rid of is actually Unstoppable by Bill Nye, which is really, really weird for me because I really love Bill Nye, and I really enjoyed Undeniable, the first book in this series. It comes down to, again, this is a really good book in a really good condition. It's a really important topic. It's mostly about like climate science and how we can save the earth, essentially. And it gives a lot of really good information, but I feel like it's a book that I would read once. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do with this. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna keep Undeniable just because it's about evolution and like evolutionary biology, which is something that's a huge interest of mine. So I can see myself rereading that one in the future. I think Unstoppable is going to be passed on to somebody else who can really enjoy it and learn from it, like I did. There we go. As you can see, I now have an empty shelf down here to fill all of my 19 book purchases into. Yeah, so this shelf here, I accidentally put this in here. I was considering getting rid of this. This is the 100-year-old man who climbed out the window and disappeared. I think I'm gonna give this one a try though, because I've heard really good things about it. So I think from this shelf, I don't have a whole lot I want to get rid of. There is one book I pretty much know I'm gonna get rid of because I have read it. I read it back in high school, I believe. And it was a really powerful story. This was back in high school where I thought that I wanted to be a doctor. This story opened my eyes a lot. It didn't scare me away from being a doctor or anything. If anything, when I was in university, I just found other things that interested me more. But it was a very eye-opening story, and that is Ask Me Why I Hurt. This is a nonfiction book, by the way, and it's written by this MD, by this doctor who basically opens up a mobile clinic, I believe, in Arizona, and he treats street kids down in Arizona. And it was a really good story. Again, it's a story I'd like to pass on to other people, but having it on my shelf, it just kind of freaks me out every now and then. Like, I'll see the spine of this book and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that story about that one person that I read about. It just kind of hurts my heart, you know, and I kind of feel like that story is never going to leave me. So I think I'm going to pass this on so that someone else can read it and understand it. If you guys are interested in this book, I believe I picked it up on Amazon. I'm not certain, but I think I picked it up on Amazon. And there's definitely trigger warnings in here for abuse of pretty much all forms. If you are sensitive to material dealing with different forms of abuse, if you are sensitive to medical practices and stuff, like if that kind of stuff freaks you out, like definite trigger warning for that stuff. I don't remember everything that was in this book because it was back in high school that I read it. Just check it out for yourself before you pick it up for sure, because there definitely is some hard material in here to get through. If you are able to handle that kind of material, it is a very important read, I would say. Ask Me Why I Hurt, The Kids Nobody Wants, and the Doctor Who Heals Them by Randy Christensen, MD, with Renee Denfeld. So these are the 6 books that I'm going to be unhauling today. The top 2 are the 2 Mitch Albom books, Tuesdays with Maury and The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. After that, we've got Simon Pegg's Nerd Do Well, his autobiography. We've got Ask Me Why I Hurt by Randy Christensen MD with Renee Denfeld. And then I'm going to be unhauling The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, as well as Unstoppable by Bill Nye. Hey guys. Guess who forgot to film an outro? That would be me. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. Also, have you read any of the books that I've unhauled here? Are you maybe going to get rid of some books yourself soon? Let me know what they are down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.